everyone, and welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today with Erica, we have an upper intermediate lesson.
That's right, an upper intermediate lesson that's a little bit strange.
It's a little bit strange, but it's a real English lesson because that's what we give you here at English Pod.
So in today's lesson, we've got a lot of really great language for you. We've got language to help you to gossip better.
Gossip. Why don't you explain it a little bit, just in case?
Okay, so if I gossip, I maybe share news or information about other people with my friends. Like I might say something like, Marco, did you see what happened in Chinese pod today? You'll never guess what I saw.
Exactly. That's gossip. And we also have language today to describe things.
To describe strange things.
Strange things. All right, so let's take a look at our vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
So in our vocabulary preview, we'll look at a few important words that will help you to understand the dialogue a little bit better.
Exactly. And the first word is weird.
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 Now, this is a common word you probably hear all the time and in a lot of different situations. So we wanted to explain it today.
Yeah, this word just means strange.
It's strange.
Yeah.
Weird person is a strange person.
Exactly. But the thing about this word is if you are a young person, let's say under the age of 35, you'll probably use it about 100 times a day.
Weird.
Yeah.
It's just such a good sounding word. Weird.
It is.
Okay, but the thing is that even though it's probably more commonly used in American English, it's still widely used for British English as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So, but maybe in British English you would say something like
Odd.
it's odd.
Yeah.
That's more common. Okay, let's look at our second word. Housewarming gift.
Housewarming gift.
Housewarming gift.
Housewarming gift.
Now, this is a cultural thing. It's really common in North America to give a housewarming gift to someone.
Yeah, if I move into a new house, maybe some of my friends or family will bring a gift over to make my house a little bit more beautiful.
So something like a photo frame or
maybe a plant, or sometimes even like maybe a basket of pastries or something.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I've never gotten one of those because I
Really?
don't have a home.
Oh, where do you live? On the street?
Well, I don't have my own home, so I have never gotten one of those.
Okay.
Okay, so we're ready now to listen to our dialogue.
So we've got two housewives who are gossiping about what's going on in the neighborhood, and let's listen to what happens.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard, but someone moved into that old house down the road.
Yeah, I know. I met the owner of the house yesterday as he was moving in. His name is Armand.
Really? What's he like? You have to fill me in.
Actually, he's a bit strange. I don't know. I've just got a bad feeling about him.
Really? Why?
Well, yesterday I brought over a housewarming gift, but Armand started acting really weird, and then he practically kicked me out. I tried to sort of peek into his house, but everything was so dark inside that I couldn't really get a good look. The whole thing really creeped me out.
Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning. A delivery truck pulled into his driveway and it dropped off a long rectangular box. It almost looked like a coffin.
You see? Why would he...
Hello, ladies.
Armand! Oh, you scared the heck out of me. This is my friend Doris.
Pleasure to meet you. If you're not doing anything tonight, I'd like to have you both for dinner. I mean, I'd like to have you both over for dinner.
Ooh, that guy seems kind of weird.
You can hear his voice is like a weird guy, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our language takeaway and look at some of these great words.
Language takeaway.
So our language takeaway focuses on several words from the dialogue that we feel are really important for you to know.
Exactly, and we have 4 of them for you today. Why don't we look at the first one?
Okay, so the first word is a bad feeling.
Bad feeling.
A bad feeling.
A bad feeling.
So we've got a few examples that will help you to understand how this phrase works.
Example 1.
I don't like Kelly's new boyfriend. I've got a bad feeling about him.
Example 2.
It's so dark. We shouldn't be out here. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Example 3.
I've got a bad feeling about this trip. I feel like something's going to happen. Maybe we shouldn't go.
Okay, so basically you think something bad is going to happen.
Yeah, you have a sort of uncomfortable feeling.
Okay, that makes sense. I have a bad feeling about something.
Exactly.
Okay, let's look at our second word now. Kicked me out.
Kicked me out.
Kicked me out.
Kicked me out.
So when someone kicks you out, it's they force you to leave. You don't want to leave, but they force you to
Yeah. Marco, have you ever kicked someone out of your class?
leave. Yes, I have.
Really?
Yeah. If you misbehave in my class, you're kicked out.
So you're pretty strict, huh?
Well, sometimes I am.
Okay.
Okay, also maybe you've kicked your husband out of bed.
I might have done that once or twice before.
We'll have to ask him. I'm sure he has. All right, so that's what it means. You force someone to leave the house, leave the class, leave the bed.
So kicked out of class, kicked out of the house, kicked out of bed.
Exactly. Great. Let's look at our third word now. Creeped me out.
Creeped me out.
Creeped me out.
Creeped me out.
Now, this is a really common phrase.
I like this phrase a lot, and we've got some examples for you to listen to help you understand this word a little bit better.
Example 1.
Shh. Did you hear that? Oh, I think I saw something.
Stop it. You're really creeping me out.
Example 2.
This place really creeps me out. Let's get out of here.
All right, well, I have a confession to make. I'm kind of creeped out by clowns.
You are?
Yes, I don't know. They're just creepy. They scare me. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. So,
what is it about clowns that scare you so much?
I don't know. They're just white faces and weird paint. I don't know. It's just creepy. And the way they laugh. Oh, I don't know. No.
Maybe you had a bad experience with clowns as a child.
Probably. I watched a scary movie about clowns or something.
Yeah.
All right.
So creeped me out basically means made me feel uncomfortable.
Yes, it scares you.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being scared, we have our final word for language takeaway, and it is scared the heck out of me.
You scared the heck out of me.
Scared the heck out of me.
You got really scared.
Yeah, I think this is a quite common way of saying, you really, really scared me.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready to listen to our dialogue again. Now, try and see if you can catch all these phrases that we just talked about.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard, but someone moved into that old house down the road.
Yeah, I know. I met the owner of the house yesterday as he was moving in. His name is Armand.
Really? What's he like? You have to fill me in.
Actually, he's a bit strange. I don't know. I've just got a bad feeling about him.
Really? Why?
Well, yesterday I brought over a housewarming gift, but Armand started acting really weird, and then he practically kicked me out. I tried to sort of peek into his house, but everything was so dark inside that I couldn't really get a good look. The whole thing really creeped me out.
Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning. A delivery truck pulled into his driveway and it dropped off a long rectangular box. It almost looked like a coffin.
You see? Why would he...
Hello, ladies.
Ah, Armand, you scared the heck out of me. This is my friend Doris.
A pleasure to meet you. If you are not doing anything tonight, I would like to have you both for dinner. I would like to have you both over for dinner.
You know, one of the things I really like about this dialogue is there's a lot of great phrases that will help you to gossip.
That's a good observation. So I think it's time for Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
In Fluency Builder, we take a simple phrase or a simple word you already know and show you how to express the same idea a little bit more naturally.
Okay, great. So let's take a look at our first item for Fluency Builder.
So when you gossip with somebody, you often tell them news or information that they don't know already. And you might start by saying, "Did you know that?"
Or you can say, "Did you hear?"
Yeah, both of those phrases are perfectly fine, but if you want to sound a little bit more native-like when you're gossiping, you might try out this phrase from the dialogue.
I don't know if you've heard.
Yeah, that's a really good phrase. You're saying exactly the same thing, but in a really natural way.
It's a great one for gossiping. So, Marco, I don't know if you've heard, but Chinese pod is up to some pretty crazy things.
See, that's exactly how you would use that phrase. So now let's take a look at our second item. Now, when you're gossiping, you want information.
That's right. So you might say, "Oh, tell me about it."
Or something like, "Give me the details."
Yeah, and again, both of these examples are perfectly fine, but when you're gossiping, you might want to try something like this.
You have to fill me in. You have to fill me in.
Fill me in. Yeah, that's what I would say. Fill me in, give me the details. Fill me in.
Fill me in on today's gossip.
Okay, so let's take a look at our third item. Now, if you have some juicy, gossipy news,
And you want to start up a conversation, you might use this phrase here.
Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning. Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning.
that's a really good phrase. You can change it a little bit. You can say, "You'll never guess who I saw."
Or "You'll never guess what I heard."
Exactly.
Very excellent gossip phrases.
We're teaching you how to gossip because that's real English.
People really do it, so you got to know the language for it. All right, so enough of our gossip. I think it's time for us to listen to the dialogue one last time.
Oh, I don't know if you've heard, but someone moved into that old house down the road.
Yeah, I know. I met the owner of the house yesterday as he was moving in. His name is Armand.
Really? What's he like? You have to fill me in.
Actually, he's a bit strange. I don't know. I've just got a bad feeling about him.
Really? Why?
Well, yesterday I brought over a housewarming gift, but Armand started acting really weird, and then he practically kicked me out. I tried to sort of peek into his house, but everything was so dark inside that I couldn't really get a good look. The whole thing really creeped me out.
Well, you'll never guess what I saw this morning. A delivery truck pulled into his driveway and it dropped off a long rectangular box. It almost looked like a coffin.
You see? Why would he...
Hello, ladies.
Armand! Oh, you scared the heck out of me. This is my friend Doris.
Pleasure to meet you. If you're not doing anything tonight, I'd like to have you both for dinner. I mean, I'd like to have you both over for dinner.
Okay, Marco, I have a true story for you.
Is it kind of like a creepy story?
It is a creepy story indeed.
Is it a true story?
No, it's really true. So
Okay.
when I was young, I used to live in the country. And, in the country, all of the neighbors know each other. It's a small community, so everyone knows what's happening all the time.
Okay.
And there was some gossip going on in our community about a guy who lived at the end of the road. And he was the owner of a car wrecking yard. So a place where you take old broken down cars and take the parts apart to sell.
Right.
And anyway,
A scrapyard.
yeah, a scrapyard.
All right.
Okay, so, he had a wife and a couple of kids, and suddenly his wife disappeared.
Wow.
Yeah. And no one knew what happened or anything. And so several years pass, and suddenly the police start coming in and start investigating this guy and start digging up all of the land around his property. And I don't know what they're doing, but I think they were looking for the wife's body.
Wow. And did they find it?
I don't know, I moved away.
Ah, such a great story, but we don't know how it ends.
Yeah, well,
Well, we can leave it up to the imagination of our listeners.
exactly.
Maybe they were looking for an old car.
An old car buried in the ground. I don't think so.
All right, that's a true story. Real English, real stories.
You
There
heard
go.
it first here on English Pod.
All right. So we want to hear your comments and suggestions about this topic. I bet a lot of our listeners also have creepy stories, maybe ghost stories, maybe, I don't know, different types of weird stories. So you guys should definitely log on to English Pod and share them with us.
That's right. Go to englishpod.com and in the comments section of the website, tell us your creepy stories.
And we're going to pick out the best story as the story of the week.
We'll announce it in our This Just In podcast.
Yes, so we want to hear all your juicy stories and gossip maybe as well.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's time for us to go. So be sure to listen to us next time. But until then, it's
Bye-bye.
bye. Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
Today we're bringing you part 2 of another great lesson that we had.
Yes. New guy in town.
The new guy in town.
Part 2.
Part 2. Kind of a creepy story.
Yes.
Yeah, and this one is also a little bit strange, a little bit weird.
Yeah. Unusual outcome. Unusual ending.
But it has to do a lot with invitations.
That's right. So an invitation is when you ask somebody to do something with you.
Right. A dinner invitation.
So we're going to be talking about invitations and inviting people to do things.
Okay.
Well, with that, let's listen to the dialogue for the first time.
Oh, Armand, thank you for such a thoughtful invitation. It's really very nice of you to invite us over for dinner. Don't you think so, Ellen?
Oh, yes, of course. We'd love to come over. Can I bring anything?
No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. I'll see you tonight. Come with an appetite. I know I will.
I don't want to go over to his place for dinner. He gives me the creeps. Why on earth did you accept?
Oh, come on, Ellen. It'll be nice to get to know him. Besides, he's new to the neighborhood, and it would be rude to decline his invitation.
I guess so. You always rope me into things like this.
Ladies. Thank you for coming. You look delicious. I mean, beautiful. Please, come in.
Oh, Armand, you are too kind.
How did I get myself into this?
Wow, I'm really anxious to see what happens in this dinner party
Yeah, I guess we'll have to stay tuned and find out.
for part 3.
Yeah.
All right, well, we have some really great vocabulary, so I guess we can start with language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today, we have 3 great words. Erica, why don't you start us off with the first one?
The first word is thoughtful.
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 So when you're thoughtful, you're kind, right?
You're kind, you're considerate
Yes,
to
you-
other people.
You think about what the other person would like.
Right,
And you do
right.
that thing.
It's so thoughtful of you.
Yeah.
Our second phrase, give me the creeps.
Give me the creeps.
Give me the creeps.
This is kind of a funny phrase, but I think if we listen to some examples, we'll understand the meaning.
Example 1. Horror movies give me the creeps. Example 2. Stop it! You're giving me the creeps. Example 3.
I saw this really scary clown. It gave me the creeps.
So I can see this one means to make me feel uncomfortable.
Right, it makes me feel
Like strange.
scared.
Yeah, scared.
Also.
Yeah.
Gives me the creeps. Mm-hmm. And our last phrase for language takeaway, rope me into.
Rope me into something.
Rope me into something. Mm-hmm. So if you rope me into something, it's
like you convince me to do something that I don't really want to do.
right. So I roped you into lending me your car.
Yes. That was a bad idea.
That was a bad idea.
And you roped me into going out for beers after work.
Yeah, that was a great idea. All right, so rope me into,
Yeah.
convince.
Yeah.
All righty, so I guess we could listen to our dialogue again.
This time a little bit slower, and you'll be able to understand the language a little bit more clearly.
Oh, Armand, thank you for such a thoughtful invitation. It's really very nice of you to invite us over for dinner. Don't you think so, Ellen?
Oh, yes, of course. We'd love to come over. Can I bring anything?
No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. I'll see you tonight. Come with an appetite. I know I will.
I don't want to go over to his place for dinner. He gives me the creeps. Why on earth did you accept?
Oh, come on, Ellen. It will be nice to get to know him. Besides, he's new to the neighborhood, and it would be rude to decline his invitation.
I guess so. You always wrote me into things like this.
Ladies, thank you for coming. You look delicious. I mean, beautiful. Please come in. Come in.
Oh, Armand, you are too kind.
How did I get myself into this?
Well, I guess that's a lot more clear, and with that, we can start putting it together today.
Putting it together.
Today we've got 3 words and phrases that we want to show you how you can put together and use differently. Mm-hmm. The first one is appetite.
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 So appetite is like a strong desire for food, right?
Right, an appetite.
We've got some examples that show you how to use this phrase. Let's listen.
Example 1.
Dinner smells so good. It's giving me an appetite.
Example 2. You're sure eating a lot. You must have a big appetite. Example 3.
I'm getting sick. I have a fever and I've lost my appetite.
Okay, so we saw some great examples of appetite. Mm-hmm. You can lose your appetite.
That's right.
You have a big appetite, a small appetite.
A healthy appetite.
Right. So it just means
a desire for food.
Desire
a hunger
for
food. Yeah.
Okay. Great. What's our second phrase for today?
Get to know someone.
Get to know.
Get to know.
So when you get to know someone is you talk to them and you find out what they do.
Yeah, you get more familiar with them.
More familiar, right. For example, we can say, I got to know her in Spanish class and she's a really nice person.
Yeah, or you can say, Armand, Ellen, and Doris got to know each other at a dinner party.
Right. Or you can say, if you get to know me, you'll see that I'm not a bad guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, get to know.
And our third phrase is, why on earth?
Why on earth?
Why on earth?
Why on earth? This is like a saying, expression.
You can use it in a lot of different ways. So we've got some examples for you. Let's listen.
Example 1. Where on earth is my phone? Example 2.
How on earth did you learn English in 1 month?
Example 3. What on earth is it?
So when you ask a question with on earth, so why on earth, how on earth, what on earth, it's like you're showing a lot of surprise.
Okay, great stuff. So let's just listen to our dialogue a third time.
Oh, Armand, thank you for such a thoughtful invitation. It's really very nice of you to invite us over for dinner. Don't you think so, Ellen?
Oh, yes, of course. We'd love to come over. Can I bring anything?
No, don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything. I'll see you tonight. Come with an appetite. I know I will.
I don't want to go over to his place for dinner. He gives me the creeps. Why on earth did you accept?
Oh, come on, Ellen. It'll be nice to get to know him. Besides, he's new to the neighborhood, and it would be rude to decline his invitation.
I guess so. You always rope me into things like this.
Ladies. Thank you for coming. You look delicious. I mean, beautiful. Please, come in.
Oh, Armand, you are too kind.
How did I get myself into this?
We want to know what you think happens next.
Yes, what happens in this dialogue next?
So we want you to send us your idea of what happens next, and we're going to choose the best one.
That's right. Marco and I will choose the best continuation of the story, and we'll use that in part 3 of The New Guy in Town.
That's right. So you can give it any direction you want.
That's right.
And of course, we'll publish the name of the author with the lesson.
Yes.
I'm really anxious to see what ideas come up and how we can end this dialogue.
I know we've got a lot of really creative users out there, so I'm really looking forward to this.
That's right. That's right. So be sure to send us your ideas, either a private message or you can post it on the comments section of this lesson. And any other questions or doubts, go to englishpod.com and you can leave them there.
Yes, Marco and I are always happy to answer your questions.
Okay, folks. So until then, it's
goodbye.
Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And we're bringing you the third part of our suspense series of New Guy in Town.
That's right. What's going to happen today?
Well, I don't know. There's still so many things that could happen. This guy is kind of weird, right?
Is he a vampire? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, and I would like to thank all of our listeners for contributing and sending out their ideas of what they think happens in this third part.
Yeah, I especially like the story about the rabbit.
Yeah, the rabbit. That was a good one.
Yeah.
As promised, we took the idea of one of our listeners and created the dialogue around it.
Yes.
And this time it was a contribution of Babar Dewan.
Yeah, he gave us a great idea for this dialogue.
Exactly. He gave us a really good idea. So thank you, Babar. And this one is for you. In this dialogue, we're going to be looking at some hospitality vocabulary.
Yeah, some phrases you can use when you welcome someone to your house. All right, well, we've got some language to preview. So let's turn now to vocabulary preview.
Vocabulary preview.
On vocabulary preview, we have the word appetite.
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 So, Erica, tell us about appetite.
When you have an appetite, you're hungry, or you have a desire to eat food, right?
All right, so you can have a big appetite, a small appetite.
Really hungry, a little bit hungry.
Okay. Let's look at our next word. Poison.
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 So poison could be a noun or a verb.
Exactly. So when you poison someone, you put something in their food or maybe in their drink that makes them really sick and maybe even makes them die.
Okay, so to poison somebody.
Yep. And the noun is actually the thing that you put inside the food or drink.
So usually poison is some sort of chemical substance.
Yes.
Snakes, for example, have poison.
Yeah, in their teeth.
Right? So if you get bitten by a snake,
you'll get poisoned.
You'll get poisoned. All right, so let's take a look at our dialogue for the first time and see why we are talking about poison. And we'll come back and explain some great words.
Please make yourselves at home. Let me take your coats. Dinner's almost ready. I hope you brought your appetite.
Your house is lovely, Armand. Very interesting decor. Very gothic.
I think it's amazing. Oh, you have such good taste, Armand. I'm thinking of redecorating my house. Maybe you could give me a few pointers?
It would be my pleasure. Please have a seat. Can I offer you a glass of wine?
We would love some.
Here you are. A very special Merlot, brought directly from my home country. It has a unique ingredient, which gives it a pleasant aroma and a superior flavor.
It's delicious.
It's a bit bitter for my taste. Almost tastes like...
Ellen? Ellen? Are you okay?
Did she pass out?
Yeah.
I hope you didn't poison her drink too much. You'll ruin our meal.
Okay, so that was unexpected.
I know, Lois. Can you believe it?
Apparently, Lois is helping Armand.
I know.
Maybe she's a vampire.
All right, well, I really wonder what's going to happen next.
We'll see what happens next. But now let's take a look at some of the language in Language Takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so we have a couple of words in Language Takeaway today. Let's start off with pointers.
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 So to give somebody pointers,
You give them some suggestions.
suggestions or tips.
Exactly.
All right, so suggestions or tips. Let's listen to some examples of how you would use it.
Example 1.
I want to dance salsa better. Can you give me a few pointers?
Example 2.
I need some pointers on how to be a better manager.
Example 3.
Let me give you a few pointers so you can pass your exam.
All right, so pointers, it's clear now. Let's take a look at our next word, aroma.
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 Aroma. This
Now-
is a nice round word,
Yeah,
isn't it?
aroma.
Yeah.
Well, this word makes you sound really educated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Basically, it means
Smell.
smell.
Yep.
So you could say, for example, this coffee has a great aroma.
Or maybe this perfume has the aroma of roses and lavender.
Nice. Okay, let's take a look at our next word, bitter.
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 Bitter. Bitter.
Okay, bitter. So bitter is the opposite of
Sweet.
sweet.
So it's always hard to describe taste, isn't it?
Yeah.
But maybe we can say a few foods that are bitter.
Okay.
So chocolate, when it has no sugar, is bitter.
Okay. Or for example, coffee without any sugar is also bitter.
Yeah, and sometimes red wine can be quite bitter.
So bitter. Okay, and now let's take a look at our last word. Pass out.
Pass out.
Pass out.
Pass out.
It seems kind of easy. Pass and out.
Yep.
But
Oh.
it means something different.
Yeah, when you put them together.
What does it mean?
It means faint or become unconscious.
Okay.
So imagine someone when they're standing up and then suddenly they start to move around and then fall over to the ground.
Okay, pass out.
Yes.
This usually happens when you get really, really drunk.
Maybe sometimes also when maybe you're pregnant, you might pass out.
Right. Okay, to lose consciousness.
Yes. Marco and I have a couple of examples of this word for you.
Example 1.
I drank so much last night that I passed out at my friend's house.
Example 2.
She was standing in the sun too long, so she passed out right in front of me.
Example 3.
My sister passes out whenever she sees blood.
All right, so let's listen to our dialogue again now. We're going to slow it down a little bit.
And you'll be able to hear these words that we just talked about.
Please make yourselves at home. Let me take your coats. Dinner is almost ready. I hope you brought your appetite.
Your house is lovely, Armand. Very interesting decor. Very Gothic.
I think it's amazing. You have such good taste, Armand. I'm thinking of redecorating my house. Maybe you could give me a few pointers?
It would be my pleasure. Please have a seat. Can I offer you a glass of wine?
We would love some.
Here you are. A very special Merlot brought directly from my home country. It has a unique ingredient, which gives it a pleasant aroma and superior flavor.
It's delicious.
It's a bit bitter for my taste. Almost tastes like...
Ellen? Ellen? Are you okay?
Did she pass out?
Yeah.
I hope that you didn't poison her drink too much. You'll ruin our meal.
All right, so interesting story.
Yes.
We have some great phrases that we've used here, so let's take a look at them in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
We've got 4 phrases for you that are great to use when you want to welcome someone into your house or into your office or anywhere, really.
Exactly. So why don't we take a look at the first one?
Please make yourselves at home.
Please make yourselves at home.
Please make yourselves at home.
So this is a very common phrase when you invite somebody to your house.
Yeah.
You always use this phrase.
Yeah. It's like make yourself comfortable, relax, sit down.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like, my house is your house.
Exactly. Please make yourself at home.
Okay, good one. Usually people arrive to a party or to a dinner with jackets, coats, scarves, all that stuff. So this next phrase is really handy.
Let me take your coats.
Let me take your coats.
Let me take your coats.
So that means, give me your coats and I'll put them in the closet.
Right.
Let me take your coats.
And then a good host would always offer a drink, right?
Exactly. Water, or in this case, wine.
So they would say, can I offer you a glass of wine?
Or sometimes you could say, can I offer you something to drink?
Yeah. So, can I offer you a glass of wine?
Can I offer you a glass of wine? You offer me a glass of wine. I say, yeah, sure, I'll take a glass of wine.
All right. And then I would use our next phrase. Here you are.
Here you are.
Here you are.
Exactly. It doesn't mean that you are here.
No.
It's saying to someone, here it is, take it.
Yes. Yes.
Right?
You know what? This is a really, really great phrase. A lot of people who are learning English don't say this, but it's really common, really natural. And if you use it, it'll sound really great.
Here you are. Exactly.
Here you are.
Here
and
you are.
You can use this anytime you give someone something.
Right. So if you give somebody a pen or a pencil, a notebook, here you are. Here it is.
Yep.
Okay. Great words. So let's listen to our dialogue one more time and then we'll come back.
Please make yourselves at home. Let me take your coats. Dinner's almost ready. I hope you brought your appetite.
Your house is lovely, Armand. Very interesting decor. Very Gothic.
I think it's amazing. Oh, you have such good taste, Armand. I'm thinking of redecorating my house. Maybe you could give me a few pointers?
It would be my pleasure. Please have a seat. Can I offer you a glass of wine?
We would love some.
Here you are. A very special Merlot, brought directly from my home country. It has a unique ingredient, which gives it a pleasant aroma and a superior flavor.
It's delicious.
It's a bit bitter for my taste. Almost tastes like...
Ellen? Ellen? Are you okay?
Did she pass out?
Yeah.
I hope you didn't poison her drink too much. You'll ruin our meal.
Okay, so Armand is a pretty good host. He offered them a Merlot,
Yeah, which is a type of wine.
type of wine.
Yeah.
And this is really interesting because there are many types of wines.
Yes.
Do you know any?
I know a lot.
All right, so
Yeah.
give us some pointers here.
All right, Merlot is probably like the most common red wine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Merlot is actually the grape variety,
The
or
grape variety.
varietal, as it's called in wine speak.
Wow, varietal.
Yeah. Well, right now, I'm really liking to drink Tempranillo, which is a Spanish wine.
Tempranillo.
Yeah.
Really? And that is that also the type of grape?
Yes.
Oh, nice. Usually we would say red wine or white wine,
Yeah.
right? But the varieties, depending on the grapes, is what gives them their names.
Mm-hmm.
So we also have a couple of other, like maybe you have a Chardonnay,
White wine,
white wine. You have a Cabernet Sauvignon,
red wine.
red wine again.
Yep.
And my personal favorite is a Carmenere.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one.
That's a nice one.
Yeah.
And it's not very common anymore.
Yeah.
Apparently, the grape isn't growing very well in France anymore
Yeah.
or in Spain.
Yeah.
So, from what I understand, it's only in Chile and Argentina, but it's a really
Actually,
good one.
Argentina makes really good Carmeneres.
Yeah.
But you know who else makes good wine?
Who?
Canadians.
Really?
Yes.
Canadian wine.
Yeah, you almost never find it outside of Canada, but there is one region in the western part of the country that makes really, really good wines, especially some nice Pinot Noirs and some good
Nice.
white wines. Okanagan Valley, check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what about in your countries? Do you produce any wine or maybe any other type of drink?
Yes.
Right? Many countries have their own types of drinks, so we want to know about it. Tell
Yes.
us.
And many countries have different traditions to be hospitable, to be welcoming.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. So visit our website, englishpod.com. Leave all your comments. Tell us about how you welcome people into your house.
All right, and we'll be there to answer them, but we got to go now, so
Until next time,
Bye.
goodbye.
hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco,
And I'm Erica.
and today we're bringing you our great suspense, scary series,
Our thriller.
our thriller, New Guy in Town, Part 4.
All right, well, I don't want to give you any hints about what will happen in this dialogue.
Yes, it's totally unexpected. So let's listen to our dialogue, and then we'll come back and talk about some of the great vocabulary.
All right, drag her over here and help me tie her up.
I can't believe she fell for it. She is a lot more gullible than I thought.
Well, you gotta admit, my acting was brilliant.
Whatever. I was the one that convinced her to come. Look, she's waking up.
What's going on, Ellen? What are you doing?
The cat's out of the bag, you witch! You can stop pretending now.
Yeah, Lois, we know who you are. Now, we want some answers. Why are you here?
Fools! You don't know who you're dealing with. You can't stop me!
Run!
Well, I certainly didn't see that one coming.
I know everyone thought that Armand was a vampire.
I know.
And now it turns out that they were acting.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy, huh?
Strange things happen here on English Pod.
All right, so why don't we take a look at some of the language that we saw in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Well, we have 3 words for you here that we heard in the dialogue. And the first one, Armand tells Ellen to drag her over here.
Right, drag.
Drag.
So when you drag something or somebody,
You pull them across the floor or pull them across the ground.
pull them, but you don't actually pick them up, right?
No.
Right?
Yeah. Their body is still touching the ground.
Okay, so just imagine if you have a really heavy suitcase, it doesn't have any wheels, you gotta drag it across the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
I've been there.
Yeah, it's happened to me too.
Yeah.
So drag.
All right. And then he says, tie her up.
Tie her up.
Tie somebody up.
So to tie somebody up.
To use rope and put it around a person so that they cannot move.
Right. So you take rope, you tie a person up. And it's always used like this, right? Tie somebody up.
Yes.
Tie
exactly.
him up.
Tie that up.
Tie that up.
Yeah.
Okay. And our last word.
I like this one. Fools.
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 So, or singular would be fool.
Yeah. Fool.
So what's a fool?
Well, a fool is a stupid person.
Right, a person that doesn't know
Yes.
something,
Yeah.
or an ignorant person.
All right. Well, Lois thinks that Armand and Ellen are fools here.
Exactly. Apparently she got really angry and managed to escape
Yes.
from the chair or whatever where she was tied up, right? Well, the dialogue was a little bit fast. There was a lot of sound effects as well.
Yep.
So let's listen to this dialogue again. We're going to slow it down a little bit, and I'm sure it's going to be a little bit easier to understand.
All right, drag her over here and help me tie her up.
I can't believe she fell for it. She is a lot more gullible than I thought.
Well, you gotta admit, my acting was brilliant.
Whatever. I was the one that convinced her to come. Look, she's waking up.
What's going on, Ellen? What are you doing?
The cat's out of the bag, you witch. You can stop pretending now.
Yeah, Lois, we know who you are. Now, we want some answers. Why are you here?
Fools! You don't know who you're dealing with. You can't stop me.
Run!
Well, Marco, I noticed in this dialogue, there's a lot of words and phrases that we can use to talk about lying or fooling somebody.
Exactly. There is a lot of language about lying. So let's take a look at it in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
All right, so in Fluency Builder today, let's take a look at 4 phrases. The first one, fell for it.
Fell for it.
I can't believe she fell for it.
Fell for it.
Okay, so it's not that she physically fell, right?
No.
Okay.
But she believed the lie.
She believed the lie. You fell for the lie.
Yep.
I know that we have some examples so we can understand this phrase, fell for it, a little bit better.
Example 1.
He might seem like a nice guy, but don't fall for it. He's a jerk.
Example 2.
I can't believe I fell for your lies.
Example 3.
I told my mom I was going to the library, and she fell for it.
All right, well, that's a lot clearer to me. I noticed that we have the preposition it here.
Yeah, it is at the end, and it's referring to the lie.
Yes.
Or the joke. Or the story.
Yeah.
She fell for the story, but you wouldn't say she fell for the story. You would say she fell for it.
Yeah, so these 3 words always go together. Fell for it. So don't forget the it.
Don't forget the it. Okay, let's take a look at our second word. Gullible.
So Ellen thinks that Lois was gullible.
Right, a gullible person.
Yeah, gullible.
A gullible person is somebody that always believes.
Yes, they always fall for it.
They always fall for it.
Yeah.
They believe anything you say. So I know you were a little bit gullible when you were younger, right?
Yeah, that's true. You know what? My grandmother used to tell me every year, she would say, oh, I'm 35. I'm 35. And I really believed her until I was about 12 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you were really gullible.
Really gullible.
But you're not anymore.
No, I know better.
All right, so gullible, a gullible person. Okay, now let's look at the next phrase. The cat's out of the bag.
The cat is out of the bag.
The cat is out of the bag. Okay, so again, it's not literal. It's not like you had a cat in a bag and
No.
you let it out, right?
A nice idiom here, meaning the truth is out.
The truth is out. We discovered the truth.
Yes, so imagine that the cat is the truth.
Right, and it escaped.
Yes.
Okay, so the cat's out of the bag. The truth is out. We know the truth now.
Yep.
Okay, and our last phrase, pretending.
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 So Lois was pretending to be a normal housewife.
Let's listen to some examples of how we would use pretending.
Example 1.
Pretend that you're my boyfriend and he'll go away.
Example 2.
I can't believe Lucy pretended to be sick.
Example 3.
You forgot my birthday. Don't pretend that everything is okay.
Okay, so pretending is acting like you are somebody that you are not.
Yes, or yeah, it's sort of like acting a lie.
Okay, so for example, on Halloween, everyone dresses up as a monster or Spider-Man or
Yep.
something. So everyone pretends to be that character,
Yes.
but they are not.
Yes.
Okay, pretending. To pretend.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's listen to our dialogue one more time, and then we'll come back and talk some more.
All right, drag her over here and help me tie her up.
I can't believe she fell for it. She is a lot more gullible than I thought.
Well, you gotta admit, my acting was brilliant.
Whatever. I was the one that convinced her to come. Look, she's waking up.
What's going on, Ellen? What are you doing?
The cat's out of the bag, you witch! You can stop pretending now.
Yeah, Lois, we know who you are. Now, we want some answers. Why are you here?
Fools! You don't know who you're dealing with. You can't stop me!
Run!
Okay, so what do you think will happen in part 5?
I have no idea.
Well, what do you guys think will happen in part 5? Apparently, Armand isn't a vampire anymore,
But Lois is a witch.
but Lois is a witch.
Who's Ellen? What sort of
Ellen.
twist are we going to see here?
Is she an alien?
Oh my God.
We don't know what will happen, but you can tell us what you think will happen. Come to our website at englishpod.com and leave all your questions and comments and maybe your story ideas.
Yes, Marco and I are always around to answer your questions and to respond to your comments. So,
Okay.
guys, I think we're out of time for today, but thanks for listening.
And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Bye. Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're bringing you the next part of our suspense series, The New Guy in Town.
That's right.
So we know that Armand wasn't really a vampire, that he was just acting.
And the women aren't quite what they seem in this dialogue.
In the last one, something happened and she transformed into some sort of, I don't know, creature, right?
Monster.
Right. So now let's see what happens. So we're not going to preview any vocabulary this time. Let's just listen to the dialogue and see what happens.
What the heck is going on? Did you see that? What was that thing?
I don't know. I'm just glad we made it out. Look, there's a police car. Help! Help! Please stop!
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue, 52.
Howdy, ma'am. What seems to be the problem? Is this man bothering you?
Officer, there is like a witch creature back there. We tied her up, but she broke free and she was about to have us for dinner.
Okay, calm down, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please. Have you been drinking tonight, son?
We're telling the truth. She's in there. We suspected her of being a kidnapper or a rapist, but turns out she's an alien or something.
Okay, calm down, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please.
Ugh! Seriously! Are you gonna help us out or not?
Okay, let's go have a look, shall we? Hello? Is anyone in there?
Be careful. She might be hiding.
It's perfectly safe. There isn't anyone.
Well, I don't think things are turning out very well for our housewives and Armand.
Apparently, the police officer is not going to make it to the next episode.
Uh-oh.
All right, so we saw some really great vocabulary, and even though it's kind of a scary story, there is a lot of things we can learn. So why don't we take a look at it now in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
Well, we're going to look at 5 words and phrases here. And the first one, they described this woman as a kind of creature.
Creature. All right, so what exactly is a creature?
Well, a creature can be any animal.
Any animal?
Yeah, like from a mouse to a bird to an insect or a bug.
So I can say a bird is a flying creature.
Exactly.
All right.
But sometimes we also use it to mean an unknown and scary animal.
So there's a creature under my bed.
Yes, or some type of creature was attacking me.
Okay, so a creature can be any sort of living thing
Exactly.
or animal.
Yep.
All right, what about our next one?
Well, the creature broke free from some ropes.
All right, so to break free.
Break free.
Uh-huh. And what does that mean?
When you break free, you escape from something that stops you moving.
Okay, so you have the ability to move again.
Yes.
You break free from maybe ropes.
Or chains, or even a relationship.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I can say, oh, I finally broke free from that awful relationship.
Now, that's quite interesting the way we can use this in different ways. So why don't we take a look at some examples now?
Example 1.
We tied up the dog, but he is trying to break free.
Example 2.
I'm glad that I broke free from that horrible relationship.
Example 3.
I want to break free from all my daily responsibilities.
Okay, so break free, it's clear now.
So why don't we move on to our next word? They thought that maybe this creature was a kidnapper.
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 Okay, so this is...
A criminal.
So a kidnapper is a criminal.
Yep.
All right, and what exactly does a kidnapper do?
A kidnapper takes someone to a place and keeps them there against their will.
Against their will.
With force or violence.
All right, so I guess that makes sense, right? Because the word has kid in it.
Yeah.
So to take children.
Yes.
But it can be also, you can kidnap an adult.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
So this word can actually be used in 3 different ways. So we saw a kidnapper, right?
Okay, that is the person.
Yeah, and the verb to kidnap.
Okay.
Or a noun describing an action, a kidnapping.
A kidnapping. Very good.
Yeah, a kidnapping took place today.
Okay, so very interesting word. And of course, it's illegal to be a kidnapper.
Yes.
So our next word is also very serious, and it's also a crime, right?
That's right. A rapist.
A rapist.
A rapist.
Okay, so that is a person that...
Who forces someone to have sex.
Okay, so again, against their will.
Right.
Like a kidnapper.
Exactly.
Okay, and the verb would be...
To rape.
To rape.
To rape someone.
Okay, so on the lighter side, we heard the police officer say something in a very strange way. He said, "Let me see your eyes, please."
Okay, so this is an interesting phrase. It's a sound made from pushing two words together.
Right, so let me.
Why don't we hear a few more examples of this and see if we can figure out what are the two words.
Example 1. Let me have a look inside the car. Example 2.
Let me go out tonight, Dad. Please.
Example 3.
Let me think about it, and I will give you an answer tomorrow.
So basically, let me is
Let me.
let me.
Yeah. Let me have that pen.
Okay, let me see. Now, we do this also with other words, right?
Yeah. Another example would be gimme.
Gimme.
Yeah.
So that is give me.
Exactly.
Okay, so an interesting thing, it's not proper English, right?
No, you wouldn't really write it this way,
Or find it in the dictionary.
but it's really common when people speak. And actually, it's more likely that you'll say let me, gimme, than let me, give me.
Okay, very good. So I think now it's time for us to listen to our dialogue for the second time, and then we'll come back and look at some other phrases that we saw in our dialogue.
What the heck is going on? Did you see that? What was that thing?
I don't know. I'm just glad we made it out. Look, there's a police car. Help! Help! Please stop.
Howdy, ma'am. What seems to be the problem? Is this man bothering you?
Officer! Officer, there is like a witch creature back there. We tied her up, but she broke free, and she was about to have us for dinner.
Okay, calm down, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please. Have you been drinking tonight, son?
We are telling the truth. She's in there. We suspected her of being a kidnapper or rapist, but it turns out she's an alien or something.
Okay, calm down, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please.
Ugh, seriously, are you gonna help us or not?
Okay, let's go have a look, shall we? Hello? Is anyone in here?
Be careful! She might be hiding.
It's perfectly safe. There isn't anyone.
Well, we're going to look at two phrases now in Fluency Builder that you might hear when you're talking about a crime.
Fluency Builder.
So the first phrase that we're going to look at is, what the heck is going on?
What the heck is going on?
What the heck is going on?
Okay, so this is just asking what's happening, right?
Right, but it's a very strong way of saying what's happening.
Yeah, what really is happening?
Uh-huh. Now, why do they say what the heck? What is heck?
Well, heck is sort of a polite way of saying hell.
Okay, so instead of saying what the hell is going on,
What the heck is going
now,
on?
why do you do this?
Because especially in American English, we don't like to talk about religious words. So like hell and God and Jesus, these things are impolite in American
Right,
English.
you don't want to offend anyone.
Right.
So that's why we would have other words like, oh my gosh,
For oh my God,
or geez.
instead of Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is an interesting thing, and of course it is a little bit of a sensitive topic among some people, so that's why it's better to just use these synonyms.
Yes.
Okay. And what about our next phrase?
So they suspected her of being a kidnapper.
Okay. So suspected her of being a kidnapper.
Yeah. Suspect someone of being something.
So I suspect she is an alien.
Right. I suspect him of being a liar.
Okay, so what about to suspect? What does that mean exactly?
To think something that is true, but not be 100% sure.
So you can say, I think she is a kidnapper.
Yep.
Oh, I suspect her of being a kidnapper.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Why don't we hear a few more examples?
Example 1.
The police suspected him of being a bank robber.
Example 2.
We suspect our dog is responsible for this mess.
Example 3.
The neighborhood suspected that our neighbor was selling drugs.
All right, very good. So we've seen a lot of vocab. We've seen these phrases. So I think it's time for us to listen to our dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
What the heck is going on? Did you see that? What was that thing?
I don't know. I'm just glad we made it out. Look, there's a police car. Help! Help! Please stop!
7825, code 6, 105 North Avenue 52.
Howdy, ma'am. What seems to be the problem? Is this man bothering you?
Officer, there is like a witch creature back there. We tied her up, but she broke free, and she was about to have us for dinner.
Okay, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please. Have you been drinking tonight, son?
We're telling the truth. She's in there. We suspected her of being a kidnapper or a rapist, but turns out she's an alien or something.
Okay, calm down. Let me see your eyes, please.
Ugh! Seriously! Are you gonna help us out or not?
Okay, let's go have a look, shall we? Hello? Is anyone in there?
Be careful. She might be hiding.
It's perfectly safe. There isn't anyone.
Okay, well, Marco, we're coming near the end of this series, aren't we?
Yes, exactly. It's a short series, but what do you think happens, or how do you think the series ends? What is really going on?
A mystery here at English Pod. So we want to hear from you. What do you think's going to happen?
Exactly. Come to our website at englishpod.com where you can leave us your questions, your comments, or even maybe your ideas, not only for this lesson, but for any lesson that you would like to hear.
That's right. Well, guys, we're happy that you downloaded this lesson, and remember to check out our website. But until next time, thanks for listening, and goodbye.
Bye.